Okay, so welcome to today's next level session here at Inside Real Estate. We are going to cover what we talked about yesterday, which was doing an open house growth system. Now, if you remember last Thursday, we did kind of lay out the growth system methodology. So I'll reference that webinar if everyone wants to check that out. It's here on YouTube, and then there's a lot more information around this in the next level members area right here, which is building your KV Core based real estate growth system. If you are watching our replays on YouTube, maybe you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Unconfirmed reports, this hasn't been verified for sure, but I've heard that people who subscribe to the Inside Real Estate YouTube channel, they tend to lose weight for some reason and they get a lot richer. I don't know why. And their relationships turn out really well. It's just like, it's the cure all for everything. So definitely subscribe to the Inside Real Estate YouTube channel if you could, and definitely check out the Facebook group at insiderealestate.com/Facebook group. Hopefully everybody watching this is in the Facebook group. You know, it's kind of a good place just to see what other people are doing with our products and platforms. And there's a lot of talk just in general about, you know, strategizing around growing your real estate business in the Inside Real Estate discussion group. Okay, so yeah, the task at hand today was to build an open house based real estate growth system. And I actually really like this one. I think we've done this webinar a few times. But what I like about it, it's that it's universal. Everybody could use this in any market. You know, some markets, like we do our waterfront stuff here in Florida, you know, it's not applicable, but every market has open houses. And what's really cool about open houses, a lot of homeowners are going to kind of opt into this. You know, I'm sure you guys are the same way, but my wife and I sometimes on a Sunday, we'll just kind of go check out some open houses for fun. You know, if we see some signs, or we'll even look in the morning, my wife will look and she'll be like, hey, there's two open, say, let's go look at the, check it out. It'll be fun. It's kind of like a little date sort of thing to do. So it's something that not only will generate you buyer leads, the point I'm trying to make is it can also generate you seller leads. You know, and you don't have to, because you're building this open house list niche. You don't ever have to do an open house the way that we're setting this up. This is more about generating leads around offering a weekly list of the upcoming open houses. That's what we're doing here. Hi, Susan. Hey, Dennis. So what we're going to do first, what I set up to prepare for this was I built the page that people are going to land on after they opt in to our open house funnel. So on my site here, I put it in a custom page and I recorded a quick video. I'll drop the link to this. I'm not going to play the video now. But what I did in the video was I basically say, hey, your open house list is down below. So you can see down below right here. I might make this stand out a little bit, like bold it or give it like a bigger font. But it says, hey, thanks for requesting the open house list. It's down below. And then I try to engage them a little further. I may have went too far, but I try to get them to text the KV Core Smart number, this deals to this number. So I'm like, hey, if you want to do that. And then finally, I say, if you do want to talk to an agent, you want to talk to me now, you can go ahead and click over to Calendly and we can have a quick chat about your buying and selling needs. So basically you can hook Calendly up to Zoom, and I call it a Zoom chat. Now, what you're looking at here, we haven't talked about this enough lately, but this idea of a bridge page being somewhere where somebody lands after they opt into your stuff, where they can get to know you a little more, and maybe either decide that they like you and want to work with you, or that they don't like you and want to unsubscribe from your stuff. That's also good. If somebody just doesn't resonate with you at all, you're probably not going to have rapport with them either. So it's kind of an interesting thing to kind of put a video up, you know, introduce yourself, and maybe give them some other ways to engage. So that's just an example bridge page. And I wanted to go a little extra further today. Maybe I had my extra Wheaties this morning, being an 80s kid, right? I had my extra Wheaties and I decided that I would take a little extra step in prep for today's thing. And I highly recommend you guys do this. Now, you don't have to do the bridge page. You could, as you build out your funnel, you could just send people straight to the open house list. That's fine too. That'll work well. But I do think the bridge page is a little extra money to be made in doing these things. Okay, so what's everybody think of that? Chat down below if you're on YouTube. Let me know what you think. If you're on Zoom, definitely let me know. And if you create a bridge page, I would love to see it. I have still never seen anybody's bridge page, all the times we've talked about this. So if you want to send me that, I'll probably get super excited and like send you a gift card to Starbucks or something. I'll just freak out. And, wow, somebody sent me a bridge page. I don't know, something like that. All right, so let's go ahead now, and we're going to go over to Facebook, and we're going to run the ad for this offer. And part of this is coming from a request we had yesterday. Somebody said, hey, can you show how to build a Facebook lead form from start to finish. How do you run one of these lead form ads that gets the name, email, and phone number of of the people on Facebook? And we talk about this a lot, but we haven't done it maybe in a couple of months. So let's do it. So I'm going to open up Facebook. We're going to assume that you have a Facebook account. Now, there's tutorials about how to set up a Facebook account all over YouTube. I'm not going to go into that, but you're basically going to go to facebook.com/business. Mark Zuckerberg really needs your business right now. I think he's lost like billions of dollars in the last few weeks. So be nice to Mark, be nice to the Zuck, and go create your account. And it's facebook.com/business. And then once you're in the platform, you've got your credit card hooked up, figure out how to do all that stuff. We're going to go and we're going to click create, and we're going to create an ad. And the campaign objective is going to be one of these. And I just want to mention, this is completely different looking than it looked a couple days ago. And this is what Facebook does. And I would argue it's part of the reason why their stock value is going down. But they mess with their advertisers. They move everything around. So if you're watching this on replay or your account looks different, sometimes they don't even show the same stuff to the same people at the same time. Just know that you're looking for the lead objective right here, or you might be looking for lead generation, they call it as well. So I'm going to click leads right here. Man, that's just crazy. It's always different, always different. My YouTube's going nuts over here. It keeps playing. Okay. Now, our campaign name, we're going to call this Open House List. You can call it whatever you want. Looks like I've done this in the past. Look, I may have done this very webinar in the past, but I've definitely done this in the past. Our category needs to be housing, because if we don't pick housing, Facebook will get mad at us and they'll deny our ad, because they'll know that we're doing something real estate related. So you need to pick the housing. Everything else here you can leave the same, except you might want to change your budget. Now, this is also different. This slider is not usually here. So if you don't have this yet, that might be why, because what they'll do is they'll roll out some of these new UI stuff, these features to maybe people who advertise a lot more than others. So don't worry. Just you're going to set your budget somewhere on this page. I'm going to set this to $20, and for $20, we should be able to get 5 leads a day at $20 if you're doing it the way I'm showing you now. In most markets, you should get to 5 leads a day. It might take a couple of days, a couple of weeks for it to heat up to that level. In a lot of cases, you might find yourself landing there in $1.50, $2, $2.50 range. Okay, so I'm going to click next. We'll set that at 20 to start. We'll just call our ad set name the area, so Pinellas County. Conversion is instant forms. Some of this does look different. I was just in here yesterday, so they must have just done a lot of this. And then we're going to come down to where it says locations. And if you have to hover over locations. It's funny. How would anybody know to do that? But you have to hover and then click edit. And then you have these options to choose people living in or recently in this location, people living in, people recently in, or people traveling. And this does get interesting. Sometimes you might want to pick only the people traveling or only the people living here. I think I'm going to just go ahead and just do everybody. So we'll leave it at that. But there's some interesting things there. We can't change the age. We can't change the gender because we're in real estate. And then I like to choose manual placements. I like to get rid of the audience network. It won't ruin your campaign, but it's kind of Facebook's kind of second or third tier traffic, the audience network. So I take that off, but we'll let our ad run on Instagram. That's fine. And just keep in mind, if you only want to run your ad on Instagram, that's an option too. You can just uncheck Facebook. I know some people like to do that if you're really into Insta, or you feel like the people who are on Instagram, I think this is more and more true. It's kind of a different user. I mean, of course, there's overlap, but maybe there's a younger first-time buyer type crowd on Instagram versus, the boomers on Facebook. My kids keep calling me a boomer. I'm far from it, but you know what I mean. The older people are hanging out on Facebook. All right. So we'll scroll down here. And I think all the rest is good. We'll leave it like that. What's this? It says estimated audience size. I totally skipped an important detail, guys. I'm sorry. Just caught that. I set the living in or recently in, but I didn't choose the local area, right? So I have to choose on locations and I have to type my county. Now you can do county or you can do your city. If you do your city, it's going to pick 15 miles around. I have found it easy to just always do county for everything. It may, hopefully that's relevant to you. It just kind of shows the ad to everybody in your county. And then I do my ad copy around the county as well. So we're gonna go next. And then we'll call this ad open house list. And our Instagram account is linked to this Facebook account. So I'll go ahead and link that. And then the ad setup is going to be a single image or video. And I'm going to need an open house image. So you can use any generic image of a house, or you can see what you can find out there on Google. Maybe I'll do Creative Commons. Some of these look like this one is actually in my market here, and these are Creative Commons, so I could use it. Kind of like this one. It just kind of looks like any old house in the market. So I'm going to pick that. So you could do the same. Pick a picture of one of your listings, and I'm going to use Facebook's video building tool. It has glitched out on me in the past when doing these webinars, so do be patient with me here. We're going to find out here in a minute if it's going to glitch out. But what I'm going to click is I'm going to click Create Video right here, because these do get nice engagement. I like to use them when I can. It's just the tool, it has gotten worse and worse. It's really a bummer. Here was an older image we did probably on one of these sessions. I was on a golf course, but let's upload an image, that image that we just grabbed. Okay, we'll undo that one. Okay, and then we're going to pick one of these templates. I like to pick one that has a single image that only requires a single. So I'm going to click Edit, top there. And that always happens. Look, it didn't give me the image. Such a bummer. So I'm sure some of you guys have seen me struggle with this recently too. Okay, I clicked plus for what it's worth down here to add a scene. It didn't carry it over from when I picked the template, but if you click this plus, it kind of fixes that. Whew. Okay, Facebook. And then I'm going to click down here where it says background color, and I'll just make it black. And then my text overlay will be Pinellas County open houses. There we go. And it'll kind of do this kind of cool little animation for me. See that? Kind of cool. And then if we want, we can add our logo. I'm not going to worry about the logo. It'll just skip that part, but I'm going to click create video. And for whatever reason, look, it just did it. Something went wrong. It didn't create the video. So rather than make you guys watch me struggle with this again, I don't know why this is broken to this extent, but I'm just going to add a static picture, but try to make the video if you can. They really work well. I'll have to come out later and see if maybe when I'm not on Zoom, it'll work. So for now, we're just going to do an open house. But I need this to pop a little more. It's going to bother me. I'm going to take a little detour, guys. We got a little time today. I'm actually going to go into my graphics here, my Google Draw canvas, and I'm just going to put a something on there that says open house. So I just like to use Google Draw like this. Maybe we'll find an open house sign. And we'll make it kind of like big. So I'll do tools, type, and then I mean color, transparent, so that it'll go nice over the house. This will make sense in a minute. Let's see, this one doesn't look bad. I'm gonna use this one. Copy image address, insert image by URL. I realize I'm going on a little tangent with the creative here, but it is kind of important. You know, if you want the ad to stand out, it's worth playing around a little with this stuff. So I can't do that. So I'll put the sign a little bit sideways. This is like kind of the pattern interrupt idea, right? Something just a little unusual for people to look at. And I gotta get something conversation starting. in the ads. People comment on it, right? So let's have a little fun today. Have my Wheaties. Now, if you're sitting there shaking your head going, that's totally unprofessional, you can put anything you want. You can put Spider-Man, you could just put nothing on the lawn, but I'm having a little fun today. So we're gonna do copy image address, insert image. And these are the kinds of things, you know, and I've had this happen to me where people will want to work with you just because they love the ad. Like, that guy's funny, right? You put a, and they'll bring it up to you, right? So there we go. What's everybody think? Too crazy? In the past, I put Spider-Man on the lawn, but I kind of like, you want people to kind of shake their heads and be like, what the heck am I looking at, right? And then we're going to do insert, and I'm going to put a little border. We're really going to go nuts today. I'm trying to remember how to do that. Border color. I want to make it bright red so it stands out. And then I think I can do this. Yeah, this line right here. Give me like a nice standout image. So in case anybody wanted to know how to kind of edit images for Facebook ads, this is, I don't know, just an approach I might take. Be cool if the person whose house this is saw the ad. That'd be kind of neat. Okay. All right. Little detour, but we had fun doing it, right? All right. So we're going to change out that image. You guys are quiet today. Not a lot of comments. Hopefully you're not trying to follow along while you watch, right? Watch it later. Do that, but let's just see. There we go. Okay, now I'm pleased. An ad rapture. Thanks, Dennis. Oh, Dennis, I'll get you that link. That name was Donna Stott. I completely forgot. I was out yesterday for most of the day. That was Donna Stott, the webinar you were looking for. If you search our YouTube channel, I think it'll pop up. So the primary text here is going to be, see, Pinellas County open houses this weekend. See a complete list now. Something like that. And if we want, we can use this Pili app site to kind of spice up the text around the ad. So I get my little hand here, you can kind of copy that. It's piliapp.com. And you can do stuff like put these little cool icons in there to spice up your ad if you want. Maybe I'll look for a house. I'm getting a little distracted today, I guess, with the creatives, but let's just do it. And in my headline, I'm just going to reiterate and just say Pinellas County open house list. Hands again. Okay, so we've got a nice looking ad there. It should, the red border should pop out in Facebook. There's no red natively in Facebook, so I'm hoping that. And then we've got our dog pooping. Maybe the dog should be a little bigger next time. But he's in there, and we'll get the occasional person who will interact with the ad and kind of comment, and that'll help the ad get more lift because Facebook likes engagement, right? So if we can make our creatives a little more engaging, that's always a good thing. Now, I bet you I've done the form before. I bet you there's one in here, but let's go ahead and create the instant form. And this is the kind of part that was requested that somebody wanted to see. How do you build this instant form? So we're going to do that. We're going to click create form. It's letting us know that we can't do non-inclusive questions with our form. So we're not going to do any questions because it kind of fills conversions anyway. But we're going to do open house list. We're going to do more volume or higher intent. I always do the more volume. I click on the intro here and I remove the greeting. We're taking a less is more approach, and we don't want to do things that might distract people. So I got rid of the greeting. We're kind of declutter, go with an essentialist kind of basic. You know, we just want them to continue through and submit the thing. basically. So now I'm going to the questions right here. I'm going to do add question. Sorry, not going to do add question. Ignore the custom questions. Sorry about that. Ignore that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come to this section where it says pre-fill questions. And in our description, just do Pinellas, just do the thing, Pinellas County open house list. I do believe they require you to fill this field out. So just say whatever it is they're getting again. And then we're going to add a contact field phone number. And then we're going to add user information, first name, and then user information, last name. And I like to order them like this. I do first name, last name, email, and phone. And part of the sneaky reason why is that sometimes the phone number gets buried, or it doesn't, they don't notice they're giving you their phone number. I know that might not be the nicest thing to say, but that's, you know, we want them to submit. We want to gather the phone number so we can send an automatic text, which is, you know, kind of core to our growth system here. We want to be able to text them. So I put the phone number down toward the bottom. If it was up top, it might get changed or more noticed. We want it to pre-fill with their phone number and go through. Now we're going to go down to the privacy section here. And your privacy link is simply your KV Core website link. Okay, so. And then at the end of that, you do /privacy.php. And you can always grab that link from the very bottom, the footer of your site, if you need to kind of copy it right here. It says privacy policy. You can right click and copy that link. So Dennis is asking, do you ask for the cell phone? So that's what it does. It automatically asks for the cell phone when you put that question in the pre-fill, this phone number right here. It's the cell number. And then this form gets pre-filled in Facebook with their info. And that's why Property Boost is so cool. Property Boost does everything I'm doing now for a specific listing, but it just does it without you having to do all this work. So Property Boost in the marketplace, so does our general Facebook offering, our Facebook ads offering does the same thing. It kind of sets these ads up for you. We're just going here in this demo, we're going a little more niche down, you know, and specific to the open house list idea. So I've got my privacy going. Now, the last section here is the completion. And it just, and you could just say something like, click to continue to the open house list. And then I usually try to keep this as simple. I just put a couple of dashes there. I don't overthink it. And then my link was this bridge page that I mentioned at the top. Right? This is where we're going to send them to our bridge page instead of directly to the list. But you can just send them straight to the list. I kind of just added this little extra spicy sauce in there. So now they'll go to the list. And that should be good. I can now click publish. And we are pretty good to go. I'm noticing one thing that I kind of glanced over, but I recommend not using sign up for the button. And you can change what that button says right here. It says call to action. Do learn more. Sign up sounds very like you've got to commit to something, right? Oh, what am I signing up for, right? Learn more is a little less threatening, and all these things matter, you know. So, so it's good to just, you know, I just took a quick glance at my ad again. Any typos? Usually I get a typo in there somewhere. Looks okay. And now we can turn this live. So I'm going to click publish, and then within a few hours, Facebook should approve it, and we should start getting leads. Now, there's an important step next, and I think the spirit of the person who asked yesterday was probably referring to this extra step. And this extra step isn't the most fun, but it's necessary because Facebook doesn't give us any native way inside of Facebook to connect Facebook to KV Core or to other, to most other CRMs. They might have a HubSpot or a Salesforce tie-in, but in order to connect to KV Core, we need to use Zapier or the API Nation option inside of the KV Core marketplace to tie this together. I'm going to go ahead and use Zapier and show how it's done that way. You can check out the docs for API Nation. The last I checked, it was a little buggy, the API Nation option. And so I'm not sure if that's fixed. And also, I think you can only do it for one lead form, but there is an option that'll save you the money of paying for Zapier. And you just go into the marketplace, type API Nation, just type API, I think. I'm going to click learn more. I'll try to do this now, but I always run into issues. So let's just try it. And if I can get it to work, we'll just, I'll show you how. So I clicked add to KV Core. I'm going to click Facebook lead ads. Step 1, connect KV Core. Click authorize to access your KV Core account. This is better than last time. You used to have to put your KV Core username and password in, and it was not ideal. And then it asks you which account to connect to. That's good. So it knows that that's my account. That's my Gmail account. And then this is probably taking a second for me because I manage a lot of Facebook pages. So I'm kind of waiting for this to stop spinning. But you can use this, guys. So I'm going to show how to do the Zapier, but it appears that they've upgraded this and it probably is working okay at this point. I'm going to click the start mapping. Okay, when I click that, it asks me for the form. It's looking through all my pages. And at one point I was managing a bunch of Facebook pages for a couple of hundred realtors. And I've never deleted all those pages, my access to them. So in my case, this takes a while, but yours should spin right up. And then you should be able to link your form over. So if you want to save money and you're not using Zapier and you want a free way to bridge your Facebook lead ads in, use the API Nation setup. And I'm going to leave this at that. So we're not sitting here watching this spin. The next step is pretty straightforward. And I'm pretty sure they have documentation at API Nation. Okay, but you can use API Nation to bridge Facebook ads to KV Core. Now let's also go over to Zapier and do it from that side as well. Rich is asking if you were to connect Thanks.io to the Facebook post, would it be able to target out a card and also capture the email of the person? The issue with real estate and Facebook ads is they don't let us put address fields at Facebook. We used to do it all the time, but you can't put address fields in the lead form. It's the silliest thing ever. They feel like for some reason that would be discriminatory. I don't know how, but you can't collect the address of the person anymore if you're a real estate agent. So, Rich, what you could do is use visitor view at Thanks.io and just have that on your site. And when people land there, grab their information using that snippet. But that's a little bit of a tangent. So let's go into Zapier here. And I'm just going to kind of build out this Zap that takes our Facebook lead form and pushes the information into KV Core. So I'll just call this open house list, Forever Florida. Our app here for our trigger is Facebook. And our trigger event is new leads. Continue. Our lead, we're going to pick our ad account here. Should pop right up. We'll hit continue. And then it's going to ask what Facebook page we're connecting to. And this is going to take a second, just like API Nation was. Oh boy. Hopefully it pops right up for me. Sometimes I have to do this, so just bear with me, guys. You can check Facebook for messages or whatever, but just let's take me a second. You need to grab your Facebook page here, and I always have this issue. Generally, what I do is I just copy another Zap that has that same page on it. But for demo purposes here, I want to actually be able to show you guys the page. I should probably spend an afternoon getting rid of all these pages. So let's see here. There we go. Now the search worked. I was able to find it. So you've got your page linked up here, your business page that you attached your ad to, and then the form is going to probably be the last one that shows up right here, open house list. So that was the name of my form. I'll hit continue, and I'll hit continue, and this will bring in test data when I click the test trigger, because there won't be any leads yet, because I just ran the ad. So you can see it's got all this dummy data, they call it. That's okay. We can use that to finish setting things up. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click KV Core. I'm going to type KV Core in. And then I'm going to do create contact as my event. And it's going to ask you to connect KV Core. So I'll go ahead and do this. I'm going to click connect a new account. And it should, if I remember right, it's going to ask us for our Zapier key. Okay, no big deal. We're going to hop back over to Facebook. We're going to go to Lead Engine, all Lead Engine tools. And then up top, we're going to go to Lead Dropbox. You only have to do this once. I know it sounds complicated. And if you're watching the replay, just rewind and put me on slow-mo using the gear at the bottom right. But you're going to grab this API key, Zapier key, and you're going to paste that right here where it says allow Zapier to access your account. Okay. And now back to Zapier. Click continue. And now we're going to map our fields from the Facebook lead form into here. So we're going to put our first name in. We can do lead type buyer if we want. We'll put our last name in. Put our email in. And in the cell phone, we have to just click show all options and the cell phone will be there. So you're just clicking inside and grabbing the info from the drop down. And then the last thing, if you want to put in a note, open house list. And then for tag, this is our hashtags. So I'm going to call this open house list. And hit continue. Test and continue. It might give me an error because it did work. I didn't know if it didn't have a valid email, if it wouldn't work, but I'm going to click turn on Zap. And now anytime there's a lead generated through that form, it'll get pushed into KV Core. So that lead form from Facebook will push a lead into KV Core. I want to just see if it showed up here, that test. Yeah, I didn't think it would because it wasn't a valid email address, but when you get the first lead, it will show. If you do want to test it, you can always go into the Zap and just you can put some information in there. Show you what I mean. It's like I've done this a few times. You can put in the actions section where it says setup here, you can delete these tags and just put actual data like test email in there just to see if it worked, and then go back and remap it, if that makes sense. But I'm going, probably not necessary. It always works. As long as you turn the Zap on, it should work fine. So that's how to run the Facebook ad and get the information pushing in to KV Core. Now, our last steps are going to be on the conversion side of things. So we've set up our ad, as we talked about in the growth system webinar last week. We've kind of got our capture points, the Facebook lead form. We've got our niche offer. It's the open house list. We've run our ad. We've got everything connected to KV Core. Dennis, API Nation will let you put a hashtag in. Yep. There's a section where they let you do that. And then next, what we're going to do is we're going to set up some of our automated follow-ups. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to all marketing. And I'm going to go to search alerts right here. Click learn more. And I'm going to create one for open house list. Now, I've done this in the past, so I had one waiting here. But you can see when you go in, you're going to say, hey, whenever this hashtag open house list comes in, I'm going to send all the open houses for the county. So I'm going to change that to county here. The option is open house. And I'm going to send that once a day. Click update. So now anybody who opts into this will automatically start getting future open houses, which is pretty cool. They'll start getting email related to that and always know the latest open houses. The second thing I'll do is I'll create a conversation starting smart campaign. So I probably have done this in the past. So I'm going to just go look and see. Maybe we can shortcut. Yep, it says open house list leads. And we'll click on that. And it says, hi, lead first name. Thanks for looking at the open house list on my site. Did you see any that you liked? Now, I might change that a little bit. I'm going to change it to actually, yeah, I have that going out 13 minutes later. I'll do 7 minutes. And I'm going to edit that text to do our trick that won't put the unsubscribe language in that I've talked about. So I'm going to go to templates, look for my open house list text. Thanks for looking at the open house list on my site. Did you end up seeing any that you liked? So something like that. We say, hey, acknowledge what they did, and then send the thing. Okay, the merge tag has your name in it. But what I did to kill the unsubscribe language is the word end right here. You've seen me use stopping with a space between stop and ping. There's a few words that you can use, and it won't put the unsubscribe language in. So there we go. And then I might maybe insert the video. This is interesting. I could put the same video in or do a similar video to the bridge page. That would be interesting. So this is with core video. I had to allow. So I could do. Hey, Ryan here with Forever Florida Real Estate. Just want to say hi and thank you again for looking at the open house list. If there are any on the list that you want to check out, maybe if you can't make it in person this weekend, I'd be happy to kind of get the door open for you. Just respond back to this text or this email and let me know. Or if you have any other specific properties or criteria, something you're looking for in the market, I'd be happy to do some research for you. So thanks again for downloading the list, and look forward to working with you sometime soon. So there we go. That's how easy it is with core video, right? And then I could do a call to action. Schedule 15-minute. How about this? Click here. Click here to see the list. That's interesting. So just in case they didn't continue from Facebook and see the list right away, I can give them the list again right here. So I'll just send them to this page. Have a little fun with core video. Save CTA, and it'll have this blue up top, right? I'm trying to save the thumbnail. Is that how you do it? I'm not sure. Yeah, that is how you do it. So you click the thumbnail, and there you go. So I'm gonna click use this recording. Yes. And then it will be a special individual who actually wants to work with me at this point. So we'll hit update template. And now that text will go out with the video and the quick auto reply. So all along the way, this is all automated, right? They come in off Facebook, they go to my bridge page here, they get an auto text that has a video with me saying hello, they click and get the list from that. And then I can enhance, I could probably add an extra email to the campaign that also emails them the link. And then they're gonna start getting updates from me every couple of days when there's a new open house announced automatically through KV Corp. And then the last thing that I can do, and I think I might start doing this, is every probably Friday night or Saturday morning, I can come in, and I recommend you guys do this too, do a scheduled mass email and send the link to this week's open houses. Just send it. Just say, hey, here's your updated list to this week's open houses. If there's anything on this list you want to see, but you can't make it this weekend, just let me know. I'll let you in. So you could do that kind of call to action. You can also go a little extra mile with that weekly email, which I might do, and just do a screencast. So I believe you can do that with Core Video. Let's try it. So if I go here, and I want to do a Core Video, I think you can do a screencast. So I'm gonna click Add Video. Virtual background, record screen. Connecting screen recorder. So yeah, you could. So you could. I'm imagining that because I have Zoom going right now, sharing my screen, that's not going to work great. But you could go and record a screencast and say, hey, Ryan here. Here's this week's list of open houses in order from least expensive to highest, right? And you can just kind of scroll through and say, my featured open house of the week, you definitely need to check this one out. Maybe pick one and talk about it for a minute. Maybe it's one that your company has, right? And you do that. So you know, that would be a little extra something cool as we talk about in the growth system, where you send something unique every week that has your voice and a video or some unique spin that you can put on it. And this content would be very easy to create because around open houses, because there's always fresh open houses to talk about. So you don't have to get too creative. You just have to kind of record the video, or even just send an email with a link and say, definitely check out, you know, the one over there on St. Pete Beach at 181 73rd Ave. It's got a great kitchen, something like that. So there we have it. I think that will conclude our presentation for a full end-to-end open house list growth system built using KV Core. Any questions for anybody watching live, or if you have any questions and you're watching the replay on YouTube, just chat them down below. We can get to them. But what's everybody think? You gonna give this a shot? Overwhelming. So I did this in about 40 minutes talking to you guys. And I realized, you know, I've done this over and over and over again, but if you follow what I just did, I don't think I've left too many steps out. And this methodology will get you in a conversation with people. So, you know, in an automated fashion, you're going to spend that $2 to $5 a lead. They're going to come in, a certain percentage are going to reply to your auto texts. And then you're going to keep sending open house information automatically through KV Core. And if you send something unique every week, you know, this could be the core kind of growth system that you operate your business around. So hopefully that works. And as we mentioned last week, there's all kinds of, you don't have to do open houses. You could choose any niche and do kind of the same flow with it. All right, any property type. It's great, guys. Any other questions, comments? If not, we can kind of call it a day today. Actually, go ahead, Thomas, ask your question. I will mention, we may have to cancel tomorrow. I have an MLS compliance class to take, and you know, I can't get my MLS back on until I take the darn thing. So, and it's going to run into this time. So, so you all know how that is. So I don't think I'll be here. I'm going to try to get somebody to cover, but you may see a note that it's canceled tomorrow, and we'll be back Thursday if I don't get coverage. But go ahead, Byron, Brian, and Thomas. Go ahead and chat your questions in. Thomas is having issues inserting source code in a custom page. I had similar issues this morning, but where did you get the source code from? Is it something you kind of made on your own, or did you paste it from somewhere else? Sometimes when you paste from somewhere else, that could be the problem. You can paste it here to me if you want. I'll just take a look at it in the chat. But I was messing around this morning. It worked fine, but I had to put some HTML in here, like some breaks and stuff like that. It didn't come out best. Yeah, this might break. There may be issues with putting scripts on pages for security reasons. It was in there. Okay, all right. And you're saying it's just not saving? What's it supposed to do? Elfsight rings a bell. I just can't remember what they do. So if I look here, yeah, didn't save. I'm gonna I bet you might want to ask our support team, but I bet for whatever reason we're either stopping this script from playing, like we put it on a blacklist or something. It caused issues in the past or something. But I would ask support to look into it. Another way to go, if this just takes people to the Elfsight site short term, put a picture or a banner ad in the page. A picture of the reviews with a click here now to leave a review. But yeah, I wouldn't know how to troubleshoot this right now. It's definitely going to have to be a support thing. But I tested it myself, and yeah, it's not. Well, it is actually. It's right here. Let me save that again. Maybe I spoke too soon. It is actually showing on the bottom. Is it doing that for you too? So it seems like it's getting in there, and it is saving. I just didn't catch it that it was down at the end, but it's just not doing what it's supposed to, huh? Yeah, I don't really know. That's a third-party script. I wouldn't know. Have you tried it on another site to make sure that it's, that it's the right script? Like, does it work on another site? Yeah. Here, I'll do it now. So I'm just going to a WordPress install here, and I'm pasting the same script in, and I'm just testing to see if it does anything. So it doesn't seem to do anything here. So it might not be a KV Core specific thing. Actually, we're going down a little rabbit hole here. 1 second. It seems to be stripping the script out on KV Core. So it might be a KV Core thing. Yeah, sorry. That has to be support. Brian, when for your search, when you're doing the search for a client, if condo, townhomes is not a filter. I would check with support and see if you can get those separated or added. That might be an MLS by MLS thing. There is an option in WebIDX under website settings to add specific fields, but I don't know if it's going to separate townhomes and condos for you. So right here toward the bottom, so you see the condos and then townhouse. So it might be a thing where your MLS doesn't separate them, or you don't have this checked off. So try that out. It's in WebIDX and it's down toward the bottom of the settings. So yeah, if you import a bunch of contacts, Brian, definitely make them sphere if they don't have status. Sphere's a very safe thing to make people, and then you can move them along out of sphere into different, into a different status as needed. Cool. All right, well, thanks for the questions, guys. I'm going to call it a day, I think. Again, 50-50. I probably won't be here tomorrow, but I'll try to get somebody else here for the Q&A. If that doesn't work out, you'll see it disappear from the KV Core training calendar, and we'll just see you Thursday. But we've got tons of past webinars to review. There's lots of content on the YouTube channel if you need the hour to study. And also a reminder that all of our training stuff is on the top right of the dashboard here where it says view training calendar. You can always access that stuff. Okay, well, thanks a lot, everybody. We'll see you soon, and this replay will be live on the YouTube channel shortly. Have a good one.